This recipe for 3-berry pie was shared by Allrecipes member Jen Hall. Another member, Naples34102, says, "This pie brings back wonderful memories of those found in old-fashioned diner-type family-owned restaurants," adding, "I love the simple flavors of just the sweetened fruit." Let's get started by making the pie crust. No need to get intimidated here. It's just 4 simple ingredients. Place 2 cups of flour into a large bowl and add half a teaspoon of salt. Stir them together to combine. And add 2/3 of a cup of chilled shortening. The shortening will create little pockets to make a flaky crust for the pie. Use a pastry blender to cut the shortening into the flour until the pieces are the size of small peas. Next, sprinkle 1 tablespoon of cold water over one area of the flour mixture, toss it gently with a fork, and push the moistened portion to the side of the bowl. Repeat the process using a total of 6 tablespoons of cold water until all of the dough is moistened. Be careful not to overwork the dough. Turn the dough out onto a lightly floured work surface. Divide the dough in half. Form each into a ball and flatten them slightly. Wrap them in plastic and refrigerate them for at least 30 minutes. To make the crust, transfer 1 piece of the chilled dough to a lightly floured work surface. Use a rolling pin to roll out the dough from the center to the edges, making a 12-inch circle about 1/8 of an inch thick. Wrap the crust around the rolling pin and unroll it onto a 9-inch pie plate. Use your fingers to ease the crust into the plate, being careful not to stretch it out. Trim the bottom crust as needed using a knife. Place the pastry-lined pie plate in the refrigerator so it stays chilled while you prepare the filling. Pour half a cup of sugar into a large mixing bowl and add 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. Stir them together. Next, add the berries. You'll need 1 cup of strawberries that you've halved or quartered depending on their size, 2 cups of raspberries, and 1½ cups of blueberries. Jen Hall suggests that you can substitute blackberries for the raspberries if you prefer. Gently toss the berries until they're coated with the cornstarch and sugar. Let the filling stand for 15 minutes. Now you can preheat the oven to 375 degrees and put a baking sheet into the oven to preheat. Place the remaining dough on a lightly floured surface and roll it out to a 12-inch circle to form the top crust. Pour the berries into the pastry-lined pie plate. Place the top crust over the pie. Trim the edges with a pair of scissors, leaving a 1/2-inch overhang. Fold the top crust under the bottom crust and press the dough lightly to seal it. Crimp the edges of the crust using your fingers. Cut vents in the top to allow the steam to escape. The edge of the pie always bakes faster, so cover it with a pie shield or foil to prevent overbrowning. Place the pie on the baking tray and bake it for 25 minutes. Remove the pie shield and bake it until the filling is bubbling and the crust is golden, an additional 20 to 30 minutes. Place the pie on a wire rack and allow it to cool completely before cutting into it. The filling will thicken and set as the pie cools. If you don't have fresh berries on hand, you can use frozen and simply double the baking time. That way you can enjoy 3-berry pie any time of year.